Breaking news. Canada just made a move that could change everything. In a stunning turn of events, MarkCarney has been sworn in as Canada's new Prime Minister, immediately making waves with a bold stance against the United States. In his first speech as leader, Carney rejected any notion of Canada ever becoming part of the US, calling such ideas absurd. But he didn't stop there. Carney openly challenged US President Donald Trump, calling him a threat to Canadian families, workers, and businesses. His warning was crystal clear. They covered our resources, our water, our land, and our nation. If they were to succeed, they would obliterate our way of life. This marks a dramatic shift in Canada's foreign policy. For decades, the US and Canada have been close allies, economically, militarily, and politically. But with rising tensions, economic disputes, and military deals in jeopardy, is this the beginning of a geopolitical Cold War between Canada and the United States? What does this mean for Canada's economy, military alliances, and global standing? And could it push Canada into closer partnerships with Europe and Asia instead of the US? Stay with us as we break down every angle of this explosive story. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breaking updates. Now, let's dive deep into the shocking details of Canada's retaliation against the US and what it means for the future of North American relations. MarkCarney's opening speech sent a clear message to both Washington and the world: Canada will not be bullied. He strongly rejected US Senator Marco Rubio's claim that Canada would be better off as America's 51st state, calling the idea ridiculous and insulting. His boldest remarks, however, were directed at Donald Trump, who has repeatedly threatened Canada with tariffs, trade restrictions, and economic pressure. Carney made it clear that Trump's approach is not welcome in Canada. Carney's words were not just symbolic, they were strategic. By taking a firm stand against US economic pressure, he is signaling to the world that Canada is ready to diversify its alliances and reduce its dependency on the United States. But words alone aren't enough. Canada is now taking action. Canada has unleashed a $760 billion trade counteroffensive aimed at hitting the US where it hurts the most, its export markets and strategic industries. Here's what we know so far. Canada has halted imports of key US products, affecting American manufacturing and agriculture. It has expanded economic ties with the European Union and Asian markets, reducing reliance on American trade. The European Union has also slapped $40 billion in tariffs on US goods, signaling that America's closest allies are growing frustrated with its trade policies. But there's one decision that could completely shake up the balance of power between Canada and the US, and it involves the future of Canada's Air Force. Canada's $19 billion F-35 fighter jet deal is in jeopardy. Canada is now reconsidering its massive military deal with the US, signaling a major shift in its defense strategy. The government had planned to purchase 88 F-35 fighter jets from Lockheed Martin in a deal worth $19 billion. However, in a shocking turn of events, Defense Minister Bill Blair has confirmed that Canada is now exploring alternatives. Why would Canada back out of such a crucial military deal? The answer lies in the rising tensions between NATO allies and Trump's unpredictable foreign policy. Portugal has already cancelled its F-35 purchase, citing concerns that Trump's policies could limit access to maintenance, components, and operational capabilities. Now, Canada is following suit. Blair has suggested that Canada might accept only the first 16 jets, which have already been paid for, while seeking other options for the rest of its fleet. And here's where things get even more interesting. One of the leading alternatives to the F-35 is the Swedish-built Saab JAS 39 Gripen fighter jet. Why is this a game-changer? Cost-effective, the Gripen is significantly cheaper than the F-35, allowing Canada to purchase more jets for the same budget. Arctic advantage, the Gripen is better suited for Canada's harsh Arctic conditions, whereas the F-35 has been plagued with performance issues in extreme cold. Operational flexibility, unlike the F-35, which requires massive infrastructure, the Gripen can take off and land on highways and makeshift runways, perfect for Canada's vast and remote landscapes. Technology transfer, Sweden's Saab has offered to build the Gripen in Canada, ensuring that Canadian defence industries benefit from local production and jobs. Could Canada be about to break away from the US and strengthen military ties with Europe instead? If Canada abandons the F-35, it could trigger a domino effect, encouraging other NATO allies to do the same. Meanwhile, Europe is rapidly building its own military power, investing in homegrown defense technology rather than relying on the US. Between 2021 and 2024, EU defense spending surged by over 30% to reach $326 billion, with expectations that it will hit $1 trillion by 2030. Europe's biggest defense firms are seeing record-breaking profits as the continent reduces reliance on American weapons. The Rearm Europe initiative, a massive $800 billion military boost. This groundbreaking initiative includes a massive increase in European military production to reduce reliance on the US, $150 billion in loans for European defense companies to develop homegrown technologies, loosening of EU budget rules to allow countries to spend more on defense. The big question is, can Europe truly break free from US military dominance? While European nations are making huge progress in military expansion, certain high-tech weapons and air defense systems still depend on American manufacturers. However, if Canada pulls out of the F-35 deal and partners with Europe instead, it could accelerate Europe's move toward military independence. So what does this all mean for the future of Canada and the US? With trade tensions escalating, military deals falling apart, and alliances shifting, we may be witnessing the biggest breakdown in US-Canada relations in modern history. What's next? Will Canada fully abandon the F-35 deal? Will more NATO allies follow Canada's lead and cancel US military contracts? Could Canada's trade retaliation push the US economy into a crisis? We are on the verge of something massive. Now, we turn the question over to you. Do you think Canada is making the right move by standing up to the US? Or is this a dangerous gamble that could backfire? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more breaking news. Until next time, stay informed and stay prepared.